Alright, folks, we are back streaming. The NathanGalang show is live. We're debating the merits of the Trump presidency. I don't think he's going to be exactly a good president. Obviously, there are people that exist that disagree, that believe that he will be great. And I'm assuming that this stream will have a lot of people that feel that way. So, what this stream is about is having conversation. It's having debate. We're debating politics. And if you disagree with me, that's okay. Let's have that discussion in the free marketplace of ideas. Call-in number. Call in. Let's talk. Let's see what happens. Right? TikTok is getting shut down. That's a real damn shame. Folks, if you think that Donald Trump is in fact looking out for you, and you disagree with my position that Donald Trump is going to harm you as a regular human being, then call into the show. And the phone number right above my head. We'll summon a Google Voice, and I'll pull you in and we can have a conversation. Let's talk, folks. Defend your guy. I don't think he's that great. But some of you guys do think he's a good guy, so I want to hear from you. I want to have that conversation. It's a tough conversation for some, but it's fine with me. Folks, if you think that Donald Trump is in fact looking out for regular working people and I'm missing something, then call in. Let's have that discussion. Tell me what I'm missing. And maybe we can come to a better understanding of each other and come to sort of an agreement about life or politics or whatever the issue might be, the issue of the day might be. But let's have that conversation, folks. Let me know what I'm missing. Why do you personally think that Donald Trump is in fact looking out for you? I disagree with that. I think he's going to harm you, and he's not going to be a good president. We have his record to base that assessment off of, but we also have his promises. But you can call in, and we can have a conversation about that, a debate of sorts. And I want to hear from you. I want to share this free marketplace of ideas with you and let you on. And let an interesting conversation happen. But folks, what am I missing about the appeal of Donald Trump? Because he doesn't really appeal to me personally. I don't really like the guy. I think he's kind of bad. I think he's not good at his job. And I don't think he's promising anything that'll actually help people. And that's, of course, the priority for me when it comes to a president who's going to help the most people. I think he does things that will actively harm people and make life tougher for regular Americans. So I want to know why you support the guy, or I want to see if you can change my mind. So call in. Let's have that debate. Let's have those conversations. Number above my head. What is it? 305. Let me see here. 305-209-5560. Let's have that conversation. But folks, if you disagree with what I have to say, if you think that Donald Trump is actually a working class warrior that's looking out for the little guy, and I'm some kind of democratic elite that doesn't understand regular people, I disagree with you, but we can have that conversation. It's a good conversation to have. Call in, number above me. Now, normally I would be doing a TikTok stream too. I don't know about normally. I don't know if I've done majority just YouTube or TikTok and YouTube, but like I just feel like doing just a YouTube stream. It's a little simpler. It's a little I don't have to focus my attention on 2 chats and 2 guest requests. We just have this phone number, and TikTok is probably going to be banned soon anyway, so there isn't much use in building up that platform. But TikTok does have a very convenient feature of just pulling in guests. It would be nice if YouTube added that, but I mean, I have the Google Voice thing anyway, so that kind of settles that issue. But that would be real interesting if YouTube looked into adding guest requests like TikTok has. But it's fine. The phone Google Voice is perfect enough for the job. Though you can only put one person in the queue, you can only put one person on hold. So that's a little bit of the difference. In the YouTube, you can have more, or in the TikTok guest request, you can have a bit more of a line, you know. That's pretty convenient. But folks, if you think that Donald Trump is looking out for you, if you think that he's looking out for the little guy, for the regular working class person, I very much disagree. But I want to hear from you. I want to have those debates. You can call into the number above my head, and we can have that discussion here in the free marketplace of ideas. Folks, I know that Donald Trump has a lot of passionate supporters, MAGA, some might say. But honestly, lately I've been noticing a lack of a willingness to debate from MAGA, sort of fear of debate and conversation about the policies, because it isn't really that convenient for them to have the policy discussion, honestly. But you know, if you are in MAGA or whatever, and you want to sort of hear from the other side, test your views and test the strength of your views, let's have that debate. Let's have that conversation. Go ahead and call in the phone number above my head. We might play games later, but I might, when I finish streaming, just finish streaming and then play the games offline, but we'll see what happens. Folks, if you think that Donald Trump is a working class warrior looking out for you instead of the top 1%, I personally find that a little bit silly, and I can explain to you why. But in order to explain to you why, I need you guys to call in and have the conversation. Feel free to ask questions in the chat as well. Leave some likes as well. 35 people, leave 35 likes. It would be very much appreciated. And you can also donate too, by the way. Donations aren't free, but they are appreciated. Folks, if you like the stream, leave a like. If you like debate, subscribe, because this channel is full of them, and more is to come after this. And that's kind of the main focus I've been doing, these call-in stream debates, whatever you want to call it. Kind of reminds me of radio. Am I the only one that kind of sees that, feels that, you know what I mean? Does it not also remind you of radio? 52 viewers. I'm sure some of you guys in the chat are MAGA, right? Or some of you guys watching are MAGA. If you're not, that's fine too. You know, Democrats are welcome, of course. Feel free to ask questions related to politics in the chat, or related to whatever. I'm paying attention. I see a little heart thing. I don't know what those heart things are. If they count as likes or like emojis. YouTube's a little different than TikTok. This person asked, what do you think about the fires in CA? It's tragic, you know. Shout out to the firefighters. Shout out to those prisoners that are acting as firefighters as well, and doing the job, and then getting paid significantly less than a typical firefighter. Because, damn, is it tragic over there. You know, I know people that have lost their livelihoods, their homes, you know what I mean? And that's kind of unimaginable. It's kind of crazy, and that's a very populated area, so there's a lot of people, you know, experiencing, you know, one crazy amount of trauma. This person asks, is it normal? I wouldn't say it's normal. I think we're getting more extreme weather as, you know, climate change intensifies. Either the heat, I heard, now this is me kind of just parroting what I heard, because I'm not sure, I didn't personally look this up, but I heard in California right now is supposed to be their wet season, but it's been dry. They've had a drought, and that dry air is what makes for these fires to be worse. There's a reason why these fires don't happen in places like Florida, because our air is moist, our land is moist. So Alfredo Gonzalez says, what do you think of TYT's shift to the right? It's a damn shame. It really is. Obviously, I made a couple videos talking about that, and a lot of people enjoyed it. Haven't been asked about it on stream, so this is the first TYT-related question I'm being asked about live. But, you know, I think some of it is sort of genuine. I think that Cenk and Anna have some right-wing positions in terms of crime and homelessness, but Other than that, I think some of it, like what Chank's doing with like the whole like, yes, we can work with the populist right. I think that is either very naive or trying to break into a market or trying to become have like a get more right wingers in your audience. I don't know. Maybe it's a business move, bizarre business move. Anna, I think, is shifting a bit more to the right, and I think a Daily Wire job is in her future. Genuinely. Ben asked, "How will his presidency hurt me? Increase tax rates for people under the top 5%. So 95% of earners will see increase in taxes. Tariffs are also inflationary, and that is costs burdened onto regular people. And mass deportations are also inflationary when you remove like 40% of agriculture workers, which that's how much is made up of undocumented workers. That's going to make production harder in a time where demand is still going to be high, and basic supply and demand says that that's going to make things more expensive." Ahmed says, "A lot of people call it karma. What do you think? Karma for what? Just like I don't consider the California wildfires karma. I think it's climate change, it's conditions, it's the weather in that moment. It's a very dry area. It's nature, and I don't think California is in particular need of karma versus the rest of the country or anything. We all kind of do our own kind of negatives in each state, but yeah, and obviously I don't believe any of the innocent people affected are deserve to be victims of karma. I just don't generally believe in karma as a principle. But yeah, going back to the TYT thing, it's weird to see. It's weird to see because I've been fans of them for a while. Excuse me, fans of them for a while, and it's sad to see the I know that Anna was recently attacking a former worker, and that's kind of unprofessional, to say the least. And there's another fire in NY. I don't know if the people saying that it's karma is like assuming that it's karma for these states being like democratic states, but Florida experiences hurricanes, Texas experienced a horrible blizzard, you know what I mean? So natural disasters, they're not political. Ben says, "Okay, interesting points. Do you think that it's time for a change, at least right now? The last 4 years have been rough for everybody." Well, I think we were getting on the right track compared to the track we're going to get on now. We were seeing manufacturing come back. We were seeing infrastructure investments. We were seeing antitrust. There were definitely flaws with the Biden administration. I say he did decent, but he didn't do great, at least domestically. When it comes to foreign policy, I think he made a massive mistake giving Israel everything they wanted, but Trump has pretty much said that he wants to double down on Biden's Israel foreign policy, so not much to say there. But Donald Trump, when it comes to economics and domestic policy, seems to want to go the completely wrong direction, and that's no good. Alfredo says, "I'm particular about who I want to have a beer with." Yes, I don't think I really need to. If I was Cenk, I don't think I would really want a beer with what's his face, Charlie Kirk. He was called MLK trash. It's fascinating with Cenk. Sam Cedar is apparently too far. It's too far to sit down and have a conversation with Sam Cedar, but Charlie Kirk, yeah, of course, I would love to have a beer with him. That's according to Cenk. That's very silly. Ben asked, "What about our people? Shouldn't we work on America before we work on foreign countries?" What is your thought on that? I mean, foreign aid is such a small percentage of what we spend. It's really not that big a deal. But in general, with the Israel policy, since that's what I mentioned with foreign, in regards to foreign subjects, yeah, I'm not a fan of our constant support for Israel. Unfortunately, Donald Trump apparently wants to double down on it. Titan says, "How was your 7 o'clock cult meeting?" Titan, I'm glad you're a fan, buddy. Ahmed says, "What about our tax money is going to Ukraine and Israel?" I think Ukraine and Israel are completely different situations. I think Israel is the Russia in the scenario. Israel is attacking Gaza. They're committing a genocide in my view. Ukraine is defending itself. I have no problem supporting a country that's defending itself. That's the only moral use of weapons in my view is self-defense. It says, "Trump is great." I disagree. If you disagree with me, though, you can call into the number. We can have a conversation. But yes, going back to Alfredo, yeah. Sam's apparently too far, but Charlie Kirk, yeah, that's a guy you can have a conversation with and have a beer with, according to Cenk. Cenk's a very silly individual. It's almost a good thing that they didn't hire me over at the Young Turks, because I feel like if you're hired, it would be kind of hard to just say the truth with them. You know what I mean? Ben says, I just want my tax money to go to helpful things for the U.S., not things outside America. I came about that. I mean, it's a reasonable thing. I want to invest significantly more in America. I'm okay with potential foreign aid as a concept, and foreign aid is not the thing that makes us broke. Foreign aid is a very small percentage of what we spend, but yeah. This person here says, there's nothing to talk about. Come on, man. Honestly, I will say to you, that is the position of a lot of MAGA. There's really just not much to defend Trump with. Ben says, I don't think either of them will be good for that, though, giving our tax money to helpful things. Yeah. Donald Trump, definitely, since he's going to be president, he's definitely not interested in investing in America. We can look at his record on that. John is cheerleading imperialism, saying Greenland will be ours. John, I assure you, many Americans do not want to die for Greenland. Alfredo says, it seems like Sahil was a fanboy of TYT. I wonder what his take would be. Sahil, a progressive voice. And the Wig Master is again supporting imperialism. Manifest Destiny, brother. Kellogg says Greenland will never sell. Yeah, they won't. And John says, I will die for the land of green. Okay. Listen. I was told that Donald Trump was the peace candidate. I was told that he was going to bring peace and get us out of wars. And before he's even president, the main thing he's been doing on his transition is threatening Panama, threatening Mexico, threatening Canada, threatening Greenland. Pretty much saying signaling to also Russia and China, go ahead, go continue invading Ukraine, go ahead and invade Taiwan, because that's apparently the standard of that superpowers can do now, I guess. Outlaw Josie Wales says, what's up, child molester? That's crazy. Your daddy gave George Soros to Peace Award. If only George Soros gave me money, that'd be real nice. If George Soros is watching, hit that donation button, little $sign. Go ahead and become a member. But you guys don't actually care about money in politics, Outlaw Josie Wales. You don't care about money in politics, otherwise you'd be calling out corruption on both sides. This person here says, just letting them know he don't want to be rude. I don't know exactly what that's referring to. Matthew Wood says, Canadians want to be a state. I assure you they don't. Don't kid yourself, okay? Do not pretend that... Yeah. There's already polls. I think it was like 13% of Canadians were fine with it. And in that poll, again, that's not the whole population. And like 87 are against it. No Love says, do you work for CNN? Is it a CNN talking point to say we shouldn't invade our neighbors? Is that the point? We shouldn't invade our neighbors. Oh my God, CNN, MSNBC, blah, 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 blah. I was told by Donald Trump supporters that he was going to keep us out of war, and now he's threatening other countries. I mean, there was reporting that his team is not even wondering what action to take in Mexico, but they are saying, how far should our action be? Should we put boots on the ground? Should we do bombs? You guys voted in a warmonger, and y'all were pretending that y'all were the peace ticket, but you're silly. Don't be silly. The Canadians don't get a say. They put Justin up there. Okay, the Wigmaster, again, you support imperialism. That's we got that established. I don't support imperialism. I was told by Trump supporters that he doesn't support war or imperialism. And I guess what we're making it clear is that is a lie. Which I knew. We could look at his record, so that's not a surprise at all that that's a lie. Matthew says, I'm here and everyone I know wants it. Yeah, okay, thank you, Matthew. That's a great source. I'll make sure when presenting the argument to Congress for invading Mexico, Matthew Wood says everyone he knows wants it. All right, I missed a bunch of messages. Hold on. Okay, no, I didn't miss that much. Okay. Yeah, dance around the important factual stuff. Z is saying, what am I dancing around? I'm saying that we shouldn't invade other countries. Is that a radical position? This person says, waste of space for saying that we shouldn't invade other countries. Thank you. This person says, were you on JLP? Is that Jesse Lee Peterson? I don't believe I was. Well, I never spoke with him. I'll go on his show. Z says, you said Trump is a warmonger. Yes. Increased drone strikes 432%. Supported genocide in Saudi Arabia. Gave Israel everything he wants it. You can't just be like, oh, well, I didn't start a war. Meanwhile, you're in 2 active wars and then supported war across the world, right? You can't just support a genocide and be like, man, I'm such a peaceful guy as I give money to Saudi Arabia to go kill a bunch of people in Yemen. I'm such a peaceful guy when I support Israel taking the Golan Heights, which is Syrian territory, and bombing the people in Gaza, committing a genocide in Gaza, right? Oh, I'm so peaceful. I'm so peaceful. I'm such a peaceful guy. Come on. You can't give a weapon to a serial killer and feel no moral responsibility. Z. If you want to talk about logic, let's talk about logic. If someone's a known serial killer and you give them a gun and then they murder somebody, do you not hold some sort of moral responsibility? ST. This guy has nothing, just mainstream media talking points. Tell me somebody in mainstream media that criticizes Saudi Arabia and Israel, okay? Tell me somebody. I would love to see the person. Because last time I checked, Mehdi Hassan got fired from MSNBC because he criticized Israel. And he had to go independent. Tell me a media figure that is critical of the Saudi regime. Brandon thinks he speaks for God. I think that's blasphemous. Tom says, you're missing all my comments, bud. Yeah, I am. I'm talking, you know. Let me see what you said. Did he give Israel billions for that? Well, I'm talking about 2 things. Genocide in Yemen and genocide in Gaza. And what he has said is he wants Israel to finish the job. And yes, he did give Israel every single thing they wanted during his presidency because he took, I believe, $100 million from Sheldon Adelson in the first campaign and another $100 million from his widow in the second campaign. He said that he wants Netanyahu to finish the job. And yes, the United States has been supplying Israel with everything they need. Brandon says, read the Bible, noodlehead. This is a prophecy. Ah, I see. The prophecy said that Israel is going to commit a genocide against people in Gaza. Don't be silly. You're disrespecting your own religion. As they should, Brandon says. I'm curious. As they should what? Finish the job? Kill all of your Palestinians? Because I thought, again, you guys were the guys that were interested in peace. That's what y'all campaigned on. Brandon says the Gaza people started the war. Actually, I think there was a lot more conflict beforehand. 972 area code. What's on your mind?
Hi, I was just wondering how you would alleviate any kind of anxieties that are coming about with the upcoming presidential inauguration.
I mean, personally, I'm not really anxious. I think just knowing what's going to happen, it's going to be tough for a lot of people. There's going to be economic struggle. I mean, worst case scenario, we might go to war. But, you know, just work to resisting that. You know, if someone is interested, run for office in their local community in 2026. Make sure your local community is strong in general and can handle different struggles, different crises. And ultimately, they're probably going to fuck up. A lot of them are a little too confident. Like you look at the MAGA in the chat, they're very confident. But they're probably going to fuck up, and they're going to have a real hard time in the midterms and in 2028.
Oh, for sure. Do Do you have anything to say to the crowd that's kind of just burying their head in the sand as far as, like, not watching the inauguration or really engaging with much of what the Trump presidency will be up to?
Well, I think they should definitely engage in politics. I think they should pay attention to the news. I understand if you need a break from politics. Politics can't be someone's life 100% of their time. They gotta enjoy the different aspects of life. But in general, pay attention, stay updated. Try not. I personally don't feel like much anxiety related to politics. I just have it is what it is attitude. I have like whatever goals I want to see, whatever things I want to push, I push it. But I can only do so much as one individual. But people should definitely pay attention and keep updated.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking to me. Love your show. I hope you have a good rest of your evening.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Of course.
All right, let's see what's happening in chat. Y'all, you guys can go on that number. All the MAGA in the chat. Are y'all scared of debate? I don't know what's happening. What happened to the right wing? Because back in the day, y'all used to be the debate me guys. Y'all used to be the facts and logic guys. Y'all tried to all sound like Ben Shapiro. And then now the right wingers are afraid of conversation. Ernesto says, let's to invade Mexico. And that's way we're going to have a lot of avocados for 4 Super Bowls. Interesting. Hello, what's on your mind?
Hello?
Hello, what's on your mind?
Bro, look, Palestine, Israel, bro. I don't know what you're about.
Wait, what'd you say? Can you repeat that?
Look,
Hello?
the Bible is whoever curses Israel, God will curse.
Wait, hold on. I think there's a bit of a delay, so I'm going to call you back.
God will bless.
Hold on, I'm going to put you in the queue real quick, okay? Stay on hold. I'm going to try to call that guy back. But, I literally can't call him back. So the guy that wanted to talk about Israel and Palestine, go ahead and try to call back. Because you have an unknown number, so I can't call you back. Otherwise, try to do it in the next 10 seconds, or I'm going to just go on to this next caller. Okay, there you go. You're back. All right, hopefully there won't be a delay. Sorry, you were saying? Hello?
All right, bro, look. Hold up. So the thing is that God, bro, in the Bible it says whoever curses Israel, God will curse, and whoever blesses Israel, God will bless.
And do you think that the Bible was? You think that the Bible was specifically talking about the nation state of Israel formed in the 1940s?
Okay, why don't you talk about when the Muslims invaded Jerusalem in the year 1600?
Yeah, I mean, Israel went through a lot of different things, but right now in 2025, there's an active conflict being perpetuated by the Israeli government. Excuse me?
Why do you think they're still standing, though?
Who? The Muslims or the Jews?
The Jews, Israel itself.
I mean,
Israel.
There's all kinds of different people that have survived many different struggles.
Bro, look, Palestine invaded Israel, bro.
No, that's not true.
That was retaliation,
Do you think? So you think that this conflict started on October 7th?
It started way before, but think about this.
Of course.
You gotta consider this, bro. In the Bible, in the Quran, Muhammad said, "Curse the Christians and the Jews." The Muslims, they believe Muhammad instead of God, bro.
So listen, Muslims aren't. Hey, brother. It's not all a religion thing. It's a modern geopolitical game of nation states. Okay, the state of Israel existed since the 1940s. They did the Nakba, which is an ethnic cleansing, for centuries. The land that we know as Israel and Palestine was owned by the Ottomans and then owned by the British, and there was not this intense sort of ethnic conflict that we're seeing. And to frame it as this is just religious conflict is trying to take away the modern the modern context and sort of mysticize this conflict. No. There is a nation, there is a people, two people. There's Muslims, there's Jews, and there's Israelis, there's Palestinians, right? And there is a nation, Israel, that is backed by the global hegemon, the United States. And this nation wants to create an ethno-state, a theocracy.
Let me ask you this.
And hold on, I'm not done yet. Hold on, I'm just giving the context. And this nation hold on, I'm giving context. You need to wait a little bit. So Israel has been illegally occupying and expanding their land, doing illegal settlements in the West Bank, dropping bombs on Gaza, 2 different areas of Palestine, 2 different governments. And Israel justifies whatever action they've been doing since October 7th with, well, we were attacked on October 7th, so we had to respond. But that sort of, you punch me, I'll punch you back a million times harder, can be justified or can be used to justify what Hamas did. Now, I condemn Hamas and their actions, so of course I'm going to condemn the nation state and the military that's 100 times more physically capable than what Hamas can do, than doing stuff that Hamas cannot do. Yeah. So, yeah, this isn't a mystical religious conflict. This is just geopolitics.
Okay, listen though. Okay, look. Let me ask you this. Do you know what the flag of ISIS says? What the flag of Iran says?
I don't particularly care.
Okay, there you go. You see, since you don't even know what the flag says, you don't even know the conflict, bro. They curse the Jews on their flag. They curse America on their flag. You're over here defending the enemies, bro.
No, it's you're looking at this as hey brother, hey, you are looking at this as teams. We are Team America, and Israel's on our team, so they can do whatever they want. They can commit a genocide. No, I don't think that's the case. 83% of food aid is being blocked from entering Gaza. This is food aid. So here's a question. Since you're on my stream, here's my question. Here's my question. When 83% of food aid is being blocked by Israel from entering Gaza, this is food aid. This is just to eat. This is just to prevent starvation. Do you think that's justified?
Okay, bro, one little mistake doesn't justify thousands of years.
No, hold on. No. Blocking 83% of food aid. No, hold on. Blocking. You're talking about a flag. You're talking about a flag. Hold on. You're talking about, hey. Listen, you need to listen, otherwise you're gonna get out. You need to listen. You need to listen for a second. Okay? You want to talk about the design of a flag? Look, I'm interested in talking about people, kids starving, and kids being bombed. So you can't say blocking 83% of food aid is just a little mistake. Do you understand that? It's not a mistake. It's a deliberate effort to make people starve. Do you understand that using starvation as a weapon is a war crime?
And what happened when? What happened?
Do you understand that it's a war crime? Do you understand that using weapons? You're making this a religious thing. Do you think I don't condemn Nazi Germany?
There you go.
Do you think I don't condemn Nazi Germany?
Well, you're not doing that. You're condemning Israel.
So yeah, I can condemn what's literally happening right now.
For defending itself.
I can talk about the present. Hold on. Hey. Brother, watch this. I can mute you if you can't shut up and control yourself. You see what I can do? I can shut you up at any time, but I want to have a conversation with you. But you need to be able to talk. You need to be able to go back and forth. That's how conversations work. So you're bringing it up. You're telling me to condemn Nazi Germany in 2024 as Israel's committing a genocide. And maybe you don't want to use the word genocide, a mass killing, doing war crimes, using starvation as a tactic. Is using white phosphorus gas a war crime?
Okay, why
is using white phosphorus gas? Is using white phosphorus gas?
Why aren't you condemning?
You're doing whataboutisms. You're doing whataboutisms when we're talking about a subject. We're talking about Israel, and you're like, well, what about this country? What about that country? What about this country? To justify.
You're condemning God's nation.
No, I condemn any country doing a genocide. I actually condemn Saudi Arabia too for committing a genocide in Yemen. So I condemned Saudi Arabia, a Muslim country, for committing a genocide in Yemen.
Better, that's the thing.
Really? I can't condemn
No,
Saudi
you don't
Arabia
know any
now?
better. You don't even
Are
know
that,
what the flag of Iran says. You don't even
is
know
Saudi
what the flag of
Arabia
ISIS
is
says.
Saudi Arabia God's country now, as you were saying?
Nope, it's not.
Okay,
Only
so I
Israel.
can't. So you're upset that I condemn. Yeah, I condemn Saudi Arabia for committing a genocide in Yemen.
Bro, these are things
So
that
I
happen,
can't.
bro.
So
The only
I
reason why it
can't. I
matters is
can't
because it's on the
condemn.
news.
I can't condemn. No, the news
Okay,
really
why
doesn't
don't
talk.
you- let me ask you this. Why aren't
The
you
news
condemning-
really
why
does
aren't
not. The news really doesn't talk about what the Saudis did in Yemen. Okay, I think you
Oh my
are
God.
playing pretend. You're telling me
Bro,
that the
you're out of your
mainstream
tell you
media.
that.
You're telling me that
Go
the
look up- go
mainstream
look up what the
media.
flag of ISIS
You're
says.
telling
Go
me
look
that
up
the
what the flag of
mainstream
Iran says,
media.
bro, and you
You
should
want to
fucking
talk
know.
about flag design? Go to the Vexology Reddit or whatever the fuck you're into. I'm interested in talking about real shit that's happening to real people. So Saudi Arabia,
you're wearing a girl picture, bro.
another
What are you talking
theocracy. Saudi Arabia, another theocracy, commits a genocide in Yemen, and I condemn it. And you say that's what the news is telling me to say? Tell me who in the media from any network is telling their audience, guys, we really need to condemn Saudi Arabia. Just give me one anchor. Give me one figure
Bro,
in the news.
Saudi Arabia does more
Here,
than good.
give me,
More
give
good
me,
than
give me
bad.
more. Give me one figure that tells us to condemn Saudi's war crimes in Yemen.
Okay, let me ask you this. Do you have a car?
I personally don't drive, but I asked you a question. Give me
Okay,
one
I'm sure you
anchor.
took the
Give
bus,
me
right?
one anchor. Hold on, I'm gonna put someone in the queue. I'm gonna put you on hold for now. Stay in the queue, okay? I asked you a specific question, sir. Give me one news anchor that says clearly in the mainstream media that you should condemn the war in Yemen put by Saudi Arabia as they committed genocide in Yemen.
Bro, look.
Tell me one
Even
person in the
if
mainstream
Israel-
media.
let me-
Can you answer a question? Can you answer one question?
Let me tell you this, bro.
If you can't answer this question in 5 seconds, you're going to be kicked out, all right? 1,
Bro, all right, let me
Two,
tell you this. Let me tell you this.
3,
You're a loser. Fuck
4,
you.
5.
Piece of
You
shit.
can't answer a question. You're
God
fucking
bless
dumb.
Israel.
You know, hold on. Before I go on, that guy is so clearly Hispanic. Imagine being Hispanic and you're vouching so intensely for some countries in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia and Israel, that don't give a fuck about you or your people, but you're just like, oh, well, I think because of religion, we have to just support them because they're our team. No, I'll actually condemn anybody committing a genocide, whether they're our ally or not. Being our ally, being our geopolitical partner is not a justification to do whatever the hell you want. Right? Alright. 314 area code, what's on your mind?
Hey man, I was just curious what your nationality is.
I'm American.
You're American.
That's what
You're,
nationality means.
or-
Nationality just means where you're living. And I was born in America.
okay. Where are your parents from?
I'm Filipino.
You're Filipino.
Yeah.
Now, can you answer this question for me? Because I have honestly, both my best friends are Filipino. Is it
Okay.
true that they have the largest meats in Asia?
I don't know if that's true, my friend. But have a good day. Folks, apparently it's controversial to say Israel should not commit war crimes, and Zionists will tell me condemn Nazi Germany in 2025. Hello, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just have a question.
Is it the same guy from earlier?
Oh, no, is it true you're gay?
Excuse me?
Is it true you're gay?
You're gonna have to ask your dad, bro. That's it. Folks, again, apparently it's evil, anti-Semitic or whatever, to condemn war crimes, according to MAGA. But, personally, I will still condemn war crimes. I don't think it's that bold of a take, to be honest. 949 area code, what's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing today? Or how you doing this evening?
I'm good.
I was calling in just to the talent, the people that call in just amaze me how ignorant people
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah, no, it's It's not too surprising. I think most people you'll meet outside in the streets are pretty chill, but the people that call into this show specifically are the most MAGA of MAGA, you know. But that's kind of the strategy, I suppose. So shout out to them. I mean, they give this channel great engagement.
I mean, I'm not hardcore MAGA, but I will, no matter who my president is, I will support them. I'll accept who they are, and I will support them. But you know, this MAGA extreme is just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. Like the last guy I was talking to, he was saying that I was spouting off mainstream media talking points by being critical of Saudi Arabia and Israel, and I'm like, are we watching the same mainstream media? Because tell me someone in the mainstream media that was saying you need to really care about what's going on in Yemen. No, the mainstream media literally never talks about Yemen. It's insane.
That could spell Saudi Arabia. I wouldn't worry about it. You know.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great entertainment. But you know, that's sometimes. Exactly. Sometimes that's how you gotta be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can when I do these streams, sometimes you come with a good conversation, and I enjoy those. But you know, there are some people that refuse to have that good conversation, and you make entertainment out of it, and that's what you got to do. But
well, how come nobody? Yeah. You know, the MAGA. I'm sorry to cut you off. I apologize.
No problem.
Some of the hardcore MAGA aren't questioning why Kamala Harris's her campaign camp or whatever you want to call it. I guess they spent damn near close to $1 billion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, why aren't we, you know, hardcore, you know, going after that?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of things they could criticize about Democrats. I certainly criticize Democrats when I believe that it's fair. But, you know, also in regards to the money that Kamala Harris took, it would, for me, I think taking big money is corruption in the same way that Donald Trump was taking massive donations from the oligarchs. Hold on. I'm going to put someone on hold real quick. I'm going to put you on hold. Stay in the queue, all right? All right. But, yeah, I'll try to be quick with this. Yeah, no, the big money got to go. They criticize George Soros. I criticize George Soros. We got to make sure that Elon Musk money got to go. We got to make sure that Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos aren't influencing our politics. The Adelson family. You know, Donald Trump's an interesting person because he, when he's in campaign mode, will criticize, for example, in 2016, Marco Rubio for taking money from Sheldon Adelson. But then when he's running for president, he'll take money from Sheldon Adelson. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, for me, it's like the most obvious thing. Like, yeah, this dude's a liar. But for the real MAGA loyalist, I mean, it's like they can't comprehend. Like, okay, yeah, Marco Rubio is corrupt because Trump said so, but that's the only that's the extent of their thought. It's a shame.
It's a shame. You know, if the people, the people that do those, they go out and do the amendment, the audit amendments to the police and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, they always get in their face. If they would put that towards the politicians.
Yeah.
You know, hold them accountable for all the bullshit that they all steal. They all got their hands in the cookie jar. Nancy Pelosi, my God, you know, just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, the insider trading and all that stuff gotta be banned. But brother, I think we're mostly in agreement. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for your time.
Have a good evening. Thank you.
You too. 615 area code. You're on.
Hey, I just tuned in not too long ago, and you're talking a little bit about just criticizing Israel and Saudi Arabia in relation to Yemen. Can you give me, like, the spark notes on what you're talking about?
Yeah, so there's a war between Saudi Arabia and Yemen, and in 2018 it was considered... Hold on, I'm going to put someone on the queue real quick. I'm going to put you in the queue real quick. Wait for your turn, all right? Thank you. But yeah, spark notes. There's a war. Saudi Arabia, Yemen. It's a pretty brutal war. In 2018, I believe, it was considered by many humanitarian groups as the worst humanitarian disaster in that point in time. And there was a point where there was a bill passed the Senate, passed the House, made by Republicans, made by Democrats. And they were trying to stop the sale of weapons to Saudi Arabia. Not completely cut ties, not kick out their diplomats, but just stop the sale of weapons to someone committing if someone doesn't want to use the word genocide, a slaughter, you know? And it went to Donald Trump's desk, and he vetoed it. And it's not really a surprise that he did because, I mean, his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, took $2 billion from a Saudi investment fund after the election. He was getting hundreds of millions of dollars through his hotel and through the Live Golf Tour. So he's very closely connected to Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, I would say it's a genocide, but the genocide continued because someone was making money from it. So it's unfortunate.
So is this in relation to al-Baghdadi?
I'm not sure. Who's that? Please elaborate.
Are you familiar with al-Baghdadi?
I'm not familiar with the name, but please elaborate.
Al-Baghdadi cops in your ass.
Ah, I see. Prankster. All right. Have a good day. The last guy that called in, or the person I put in the queue, you can call back. Hold on, let me see who followed real quick. Phyllis Bookins, thank you for subscribing. Folks, is there actually any... I see Oleg here with American and Israeli flags and a flag of a Canadian flag in his profile picture. That didn't make sense. I don't understand what you said. What I said... There's a war in Yemen being pushed by the Saudis, and there's a genocide, and it's not good. Very not good. Very bad, actually. And there was a bill that came onto Trump's desk to stop supplying the weapons to Saudi Arabia, and he vetoed it in order to sell more weapons to Saudi Arabia because he made money. Who? Trump. Trump got the bill on his desk and he vetoed it. There's also a cholera outbreak, which is kind of crazy. And then a lot of people naturally displaced, but, you know. Folks! Wait, hold on. Daisy said, yeah, but at least he tried to save TikTok. I don't know if he wants to save TikTok. I don't think he really particularly cares. He took money from some TikTok guy during the election, but then more recently he took $1 million from Zuckerberg. So at the end of the day, I don't really know who he's gonna side with in that conflict or if he's gonna interfere at all. But I'm gonna predict that TikTok gets banned. But anyway, 424 area code. What's on your mind?
Hey, how's it going, my man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
So I just kind of was scrolling through YouTube as you do, and just went past your channel. I'm assuming you're kind of more of a left-wing kind of guy.
Yep.
All right, cool. So were you wanting to talk about Israel specifically, or just Trump, or just? I mean, I'm an open fucking book, you know.
I don't mind any direction. Where do you feel like going? What's on your mind?
You know, just to be honest, I get where, you know, your side and the whole humanitarian side comes from with, you know, wanting to save the Palestinians and help the Palestinians. And I do think that what's going on there is this like a PG-13 or can I?
You can say whatever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be overtly hateful or anything, but yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of done fucking hearing about it. You know what I mean? Regardless of how you feel about it, which, yeah, obviously you don't want people to fucking die. You don't want kids getting shot because they threw a rock at a soldier and shit like that, which, you know, is fucking happening. But at a certain point, you know, and I hate to sound callous, you kind of just say, you know, I have my own fucking shit. And I'm so sick of hearing about this shit that happens every 5 fucking years for the last, you know what?
Well, this is uniquely violent compared to... This is uniquely violent, I would say. The death toll with this is significantly higher. No. This situation between Israel and Palestine is uniquely intensified.
Okay.
More people are being affected. This might be a permanent occupation of Gaza. You know, I understand that, like, for a perspective of someone that doesn't really want to hear about the conflict, because it's not like it's good news you're hearing about. You're not hearing about, like, fucking a bunch of puppies being saved. You're hearing about people getting slaughtered. But I think the people most tired about this news is the people in Palestine that are being that in my view are victims of a genocide. And
no, hey, I get you. I get that.
Yeah.
But my thing is you know, how much you know, sympathy should I have for these people who literally, the majority of them would kill me if they were able to.
I mean, nearly
Right,
half of the
and
population is children, so I don't think I would say that
Yeah,
you can
and
easily say that the majority of the population
are
would
you
kill
hold
you.
on. Are you saying,
I think that's a
are you
really
saying
bold
that children
claim.
don't commit murder? Are you saying children don't commit murder?
I don't think there's a
Is that
thing
your
really
claim?
generally driving children to murder. You know, a lot of times when there's
No.
murder that happens,
Not
there's
normally.
usually someone that's really sick in the head, or that there's like a circumstance that leads to it or whatever. I don't think children are just gonna murder you, and even if you feel that they might murder you or whatever, they actually need to commit a crime before they get a bomb dropped on their head. You know what I'm saying?
No, so yeah, and we're not. This isn't Minority Report, you know, and I get that. But here's my thing, right? The reason you were talking about a situation in which they might kill us, right? Which, yeah, that's the situation they're in right now, right? That's kind of the point. I'm not saying that they feel that way because they're inherently bad people or whatever, or they're brown. I'm saying they feel that way because that's the fucking realpolitik of what's on the ground, right? And if you want to dismiss that, that's great, but that's just not how things are. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
That's
I mean,
not,
you know, from 2008 to 2020, about 95% of the deaths in this conflict have been Palestinians.
we're Palestinians.
And obviously,
Yep,
they're
yep.
dealing with bombs being dropped on their head. I don't think that the solution to deal with radicalism is to give justification for radicalism. I think, for example, if there's a person that lost their family in a bombing and there's not much left for them, and all they know is the people that dropped the bombs are over on that side of the border and they're being supplied by the United States, I think that's a very effective way to create future terrorists, right? But that's due to what Israel's happening. That's due to what's going on and the decisions of Israel. You know, so
No, it's
not great.
100%. And just so you know where I'm from, I'm coming from an American isolationist perspective, right? So when I'm paying fucking tax dollars, right, I would prefer them to go into my road and not bombing people, right? And not a fucking subsidized JDAM for another country, right? Whether it's Israel or fucking Ukraine or whoever, right? So my point is I don't want to do anything, right? Help them, hurt them. I just am so sick of hearing about it, you know? And
well, I don't really
this
think
point, I feel like
isolation. I don't really think isolationism is an option in the modern world, particularly for the United States and the relevance that we have in the world. We're going to have a place in the world, and the question is, what is our place going to be? I think our place has to be that, or should be, morally at least, should be not supporting, say, like regimes like Israel to commit, if someone doesn't want to use the word genocide, a slaughter in Palestine, but instead trying to be a mediator in a similar way to how Teddy Roosevelt mediated between the Russians and the Japanese and brought an end to the Russo-Japanese War. You know what I mean? So, like, there's a role we can play. But, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you view America as an empire?
Yeah.
Okay, we're in agreement with that. Now, let me ask you a second question. Do you enjoy being a Roman? Are you proud to be a Roman?
In general, I like being American. I mean, I would like us to be a peaceful country abroad. But I will say I look case by case about certain foreign situations. Like, for example, our support for Israel, not good. Personally, I know you're going to disagree. I think you're going to disagree with this, but I think our support for Ukraine, a country that is defending itself, I think that's perfectly justifiable. I think our presence in Southeast Asia is also perfectly justifiable, considering you have multiple countries there that we are to their geopolitical benefit as well as they are to us. You know what I'm saying? The Philippines, Vietnam, Taiwan. So I think that, you know, yes, we're an empire, but as sort of a global hedge.
For maintaining the empire.
To a degree. I think we need to look case by case, see what's moral. I think having like a military presence in Asia that prevents China from invading its neighbors, I think preventing a war is perfectly morally justifiable.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, absolutely. And I will agree with you that I would be, you know, I would have less objections to sending aid to Ukraine than I would to Israel because, you know, they are fundamentally two separate conflicts. And also, let's just be real here. Ukraine and Russia is not Israel and Palestine. Like,
very different
Israel
histories.
is the Russia to Ukraine, right? So
100%
Israel
agree.
doesn't need our fucking help in the first place. Is kind of how I look at it. And it's all negatives, and we don't really have a whole lot of strategic. Yeah, it's the only place in the Middle East, but realistically, I'm kind of sick of being in the Middle East to begin with. We have our own oil and everything. I got to say, I'm kind of surprised that you're pro-American empire. I was a little. Are you more of like are you progressive? Or are you like what would you?
I would say I'm a progressive. It's just I'm progressive, but I understand that if a military presence, say we have again, we have bases in the Philippines, and we sell weapons to Vietnam. We occasionally drive our ships in the South China Sea. If our presence prevents we have military bases in South Korea and Japan. If our presence prevents conflict by the fact that if a nation were to attack these nations, they're also attacking the United States, I think deterring war is a perfectly moral thing to do. But also, I hear myself echo a little bit in the background. If the stream on, could turn it down. But thank you.
I don't have the stream on. I have you on speaker. I can take that.
Okay.
Off if you want.
Yeah. Sure.
Is this better? Or?
Yeah. It sounds good.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
No problem.
So I did just want to ask. Obviously, a lot of Jews in America are, pro-Israel. Not all of them, obviously. But I do just kind of want to ask. It's curious how you don't really necessarily want an American presence in Israel, but you are for having an American presence in Southeast Asia when you yourself are Filipino.
Yeah. I think that's a fair point. I think the thing is this, right? The Philippines, they've actually dealt with extremists in their country, right? But it's not like and they had to respond. But it was a much more clear-cut situation. Like, this is a group of extremists rising up in the middle of a sovereign state. There was no, UN peace deal where the Philippines had to respect the borders here and this, that, or the other. And my understanding is there's no reports of the Filipinos committing war crimes, right? It's not just Philippines for me, though. It's also Southeast Asia, Vietnam. It's also Taiwan, because Taiwan also it's kind of just in the world's interest that Taiwan is protected, because if a war were to take place, that would really disrupt the flow of semiconductor chips going around the world. But with Israel,
Absolutely.
I understand when I talk to Jewish people, the sort of the care that they have for Israel, because a lot of them were sort of taught Israel is, this state is them. But I think ultimately when you just because you have an emotional attachment to a state doesn't mean it's justifiable. You can justify all their actions. So I'm Filipino, right? But then the Philippines also had a U.S.-backed dictator in Ferdinand Marcos for 20 years. And I think that's condemnable. I think that's disgusting. But ultimately, even then, to be fair, Marcos, as far as I understand, never committed any atrocities to the scale of Israel. But I can criticize Filipinos for supporting Marcos, and they recently elected his son for president. At least it was through a democratic process, but hopefully it's days of democracy. But I can criticize the Philippines, I can criticize Filipinos. I think Jewish people, and I've seen a lot of Jewish voices criticize what's happening in Israel. So, yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to ask, though, so, Duterte just got out of office a few years ago. Not exactly, he wasn't exactly fucking Jesus Christ. So,
I'm very critical of him.
Did you not support, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was not a fan of Duterte. I criticized him publicly, even with family that disagreed with me, right? In terms of foreign policy, Duterte was a weird situation where at first when he got in, he kind of dropped the previous government's legal actions against China. He wanted to get more close to China, move away from the U.S. I think particularly he just didn't like Obama, and based on the way he talked, I'm not someone that just pulls out racism, but I think he was a little racist.
I'm gonna keep it real. I think he was racist. Yeah, I was literally just I'm gonna keep it real. I think he was racist. Yeah.
He brought up his color multiple times, and I'm like, okay, bro. We've all seen a sort of, if you're Asian, we've seen a racist uncle or racist aunt that drops some random out of pocket shit. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna put someone on hold real quick. I'm gonna put you on hold, but stay in the queue. But yeah, like we were saying, yeah. So I think with Duterte, he didn't like Obama, so he wanted to move towards China. Also, a weird thing about him, he endorsed Hillary. When people asked him, would you rather vote for Hillary or Trump? He's like, Hillary. I don't think he really cared, though. But he tried to get along with China. Ultimately, though, China was still kind of doing their thing, and it wasn't really popular with the Filipino people. So he then continued to get back with the U.S. And then the Marcos regime, who, by the way, Marcos is vice president, is Duterte's daughter, and they've been recently beefing. I think someone asked his daughter, if they kill you, are you worried if they're going to kill you? And she said something like, I have hitmen ready to kill him, the president. And it's like, okay, weird thing for a president and vice president to be talking about, but, that's politics, right?
That's the third world politics sometimes.
Yeah, it's a little crazy there, but to be fair to them, they never committed anything like what Israel's doing with the Palestinians. So when it comes to supporting their military, I'm fine with that. And particularly, I think U.S. presence in the Philippines, I'm fine with. Hold on, I'm going to put someone on hold, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to put you on hold. Stay in the queue. All right? Thank you. All right, you were saying?
I was just going to say, I know you got a couple people on hold, so I'm not going to try to keep it too long, but if you could just give, your elevator pitch to why the Trump presidency will hurt me as, a white American 27-year-old man. Yeah. I'll hear it.
Well, I'm assuming you're not part of that top 1% or top 5%, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So there was an analysis of Trump's tax plan, and I think this kind of is just a big indicator of what his priorities of being president is all about, that found that for the bottom 95% of Americans, they're going to see their taxes raised. For the top 5%, they're going to see their taxes cut. When you look at the tariffs, every economist says that tariffs are inflationary. He wants to do across-the-board tariffs. Even if it's not on all imports, he wants to do it for Canada, Mexico, and China. Essentially, half of all the imports coming into the United States. That's inflationary, and there wasn't really an answer from the Trump campaign about how you're going to be able to handle the inflation that comes from that.
Do you actually believe he's going to do that, though? Like, you realize that's just a negotiation tactic, right?
That's a fair point to say.
When he says he's going to invade Mexico, he's not actually going to fucking invade Mexico.
That's a fair point to say, but the thing is this. MAGA, from Donald Trump himself to the commentators, like all the way, they're telling two different stories, specifically with tariffs. Because there's some people, like particularly in the mainstream media, that will go on and say, guys, the tariff stuff is just negotiation. It's just negotiation. Believe me, it's not serious. But then when you go to Trump himself, you gotta, sometimes when you listen to a person talk, you can sort of recognize the passion in their voice. And there's certainly issues where Donald Trump talks about something and you recognize, okay, he's just talking about it because he has to talk about it. Every single time he has to give a statement about somebody dying or something, he just has to talk about it, right? But when he's talking about tariffs, and I say this respectfully, I have many autistic friends, but he's like an autistic kid whose hyperfixation is tariffs. He's like, oh, William McKinley had the best tariffs, and it paid for everything. And we're going to do that. I might get rid of income tax. He loves the idea of tariffs, and I think that is genuinely something he believes in. Now, the thing is, say he gets in, again, his initial promise was getting all imports potentially up to 2,000%, right? But he's narrowed it down, and he's specifically talking about Canada, Mexico, and China, half our imports. Let's say he just does it to those countries and 20% tariff, okay? That's still a lot of money that's going to be burdened onto the consumers, and that's not good, in addition to the fact that his tax plan is going to raise costs on us, and mass deportations, which I do think he's actually passionate about the immigration issue. I don't think he likes the quote-unquote illegals or whatever, right? But you do what he's describing, what the people around him are describing, and genuinely do mass deportations. That's 40% of our agriculture industry are undocumented immigrants. That also lowers supply in a time where demand would be high, which in turn increases prices. So the problem with Trump is he made some good promises in 2016. He just didn't fulfill them. He promised to bring back the manufacturing industry. It didn't happen. He promised to get rid of the bad trade deals. He didn't pass the TPP, but then when he renegotiated NAFTA, he did the USMCA, which had provisions of the TPP. He didn't do an infrastructure plan. Ironically, whether someone likes Biden or not, Biden has taken the steps With the Biden presidency, some people don't like to say Biden did it. The people around him, whatever. During the Biden administration, for the flaws, we have seen bills being passed to do infrastructure investments, to bring back manufacturing. And there was 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. There's a National Labor Relations Board, which actually played a much more fair and neutral role in letting people unionize and letting unions strike and get good benefits. The UAW is a good example of this. Lena Khan was in the FTC pushing back against monopolies and actually doing antitrust. So the point is
you
this.
You brought up the unions real quick. And I mean, I just want to say, I'm not exactly anti-union, but I think when your union is so big that it needs a union of its own, maybe we have a fucking problem. Which
That's
is
fair.
a real thing.
That's fair.
SCIU has its own union. Okay, so it's a bit much.
Yeah, I understand that there are probably internal problems and internal politics between the different unions, but I think generally,
and that doesn't mean that unions. I'm not trying to get on unions right now, and that doesn't mean unions are bad. It just means that they're badly managed, right? But here's my question for you, I guess. One, I don't know if you know what Keynesian and Austrian schools of economics are.
I'm aware of them.
Are you familiar with those? I'm assuming you're a Keynesian.
I'm much more Keynesian, yeah.
So for the audience there, Keynesian, layman's terms, inflation good. Austrian,
I'm gonna put someone in. I'm gonna put someone in the call real quick. I'm gonna put you in the queue. Stay on hold for now. I'm almost done with this call. All right.
So
okay, I put them in the queue, and I think they hung up. But yeah, you were saying.
My bad. My question to you is: do you ultimately think that the world will not deglobalize within the next century by 2100, or do you think that we will continue on with this post-World War II, fucking history doesn't exist anymore mindset?
Well, I mean, I think history is still happening. I know the phrase of like, oh, we're at the end of history after the Cold War ended, and that was absolutely wrong. And I think the person that made that phrase is like, yeah, I was wrong. So I would first point out, I don't necessarily agree with your how you describe Keynesianism as inflation good. I think what Keynesianism main priority is
that was just a quick thing for the audience.
Yeah. I think the main priority of Keynesianism is to make sure that the business cycle, the booms and busts, are less dramatic, so that like we don't have things like the recession or the depression. And generally, when we were really doing Keynesianism, we did a good job at avoiding that in the Western world, generally. And then after we kind of embraced neoliberalism, I would say we're in a much more neoliberal period since the 80s. We have seen, with the recession, oh man, the worst downturn since the Depression. And then in 2020 with COVID, oh man, the worst downturn since the Depression. And I'm worried the next time we get a downturn, because of the nature of the business cycle, it's going to once again be the worst downturn since the Depression. And that's my view with Keynesianism, is simply a more stable boom and bust cycle, so people can either be prepared and they can grow, a strong social safety net, and investing in America, and generally people investing in their countries to get something out of it, right? So investing in infrastructure, investing in jobs, and so on and so forth. But I guess going back to your question, repeat your question, where you said we're at the end of history, or we're going to globalize, or what?
So what I'm asking you is you're basically, your point was that tariffs are bad, right? And I'm
not completely. Not completely. Okay. I'm for tariffs if they're targeted and specific, right? So, for example, Biden, he put some tariff on Chinese EVs. And I'm not just saying it's good because Biden's doing it. I'm saying, you know what? I understand the arguments for it, and I understand the reasoning, and I think it was successful in his goal. So he put tariffs on Chinese EVs for entering this country.
If Trump had done the same thing, would you support it? Like, sincerely, and honestly to yourself?
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Okay. If Donald Trump does something that I can agree is correct, because I gave him credit for not passing the TPP, but I can't really give him credit for that because then he did the USMCA with provisions from the TPP. So I can give credit if he does something right, but he just has to do it right, and that's kind of hard for me to see him doing. But if he does something, I'll do it.
You see the value in protectionism for electric vehicles, for instance.
Yeah,
right?
I would say I'm much more of a protectionist than a free trade guy. way more of a protectionist.
Okay, so you are more in the camp of tariffs then, but you just don't like the ones that Trump is doing.
Yeah, because I think the thing is,
detrimental.
I think across the board tariffs don't really make sense. I think maybe it made sense in the times where we were like, still in the Victorian times or something. But in this modern day, in this modern day, the economy is a very global economy, and while we do need protections of industries, we have to work with the situation we have. We have to work with other countries, and for example, we can do a trade deal, right? If, for example, we number one, put protections for our workers, and number two, maybe we could use it to improve labor rights across the different countries. For example, if we say, yeah, we'll do a free trade deal with you, we'll put no tariffs and all this stuff, but you need to make sure your factory's conditions are based on law at this standard. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not a better way.
Is it the better way to make sure to have the factory here, and that way, if working conditions are bad, we can throw the fucking boss in jail, right?
Yes, I agree. I want more factories here.
And so here's my thing, right? I don't disagree. I don't think that Trump wants to do tariffs across the board. I get how that he is kind of excited about it, and I do kind of get the vibe that you're talking about.
And to be fair, he has said it though. He did say that he wants to do everything.
Absolutely. But if we held politicians to everything they say, I mean, the world would probably be a lot better of a place, to be honest.
But there's not a lot of things holding him back, though, because he does have control of the Senate and the House. So
currently no, because Kamala's campaign was fucking atrocious. But anyway, we're getting off into the weeds here. My point is this, right? Do you, yes or no? Do you think the world will deglobalize, regardless of anything Trump does? If Trump dies tomorrow, okay? Do you think that the world will deglobalize, yes or no, by 2100, so within essentially 75 years?
Just real quick, what do you mean by globalize? Like we're different countries but a very global economy? Or just like we're one big country?
No. What I mean by I said deglobalize. So
deglobalize. Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you mean by that? Yeah.
So what I mean by that is less trade across borders, right? Back in the day when you were in it was the 1800s, right? If you got a thing, it probably got made 50 miles away from where you were, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you buy a thing now, it probably came from literally the other side of the fucking planet.
Yeah.
And we are seeing a slow, but sure, it seems like you're kind of I'm more of a geopolitics guy. It seems like you're obviously more of a, American politics guy, which granted, but in the geopolitical sphere, like, deglobalization is happening.
Okay, so you think we are deglobalizing? Interesting.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, I am not a Peter Zion Kool-Aid drinker, but he does have good points. I don't know if you know who Peter Zion is.
I'm not familiar.
But he's if you want to learn a little bit about geopolitics,
he's a YouTuber. Like I see Zion on geopolitics.
It's a good place to dip your feet in. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but if good place to dip your feet.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, this is basically a consensus among geopolitical wonks, such as myself, such as Holmes, that this is happening, okay?
Yeah.
And so you can either get caught with your fucking pants down in 50 years, or you can have real fucking pain right now, so that you don't have horrible pain later. Do you get what I'm saying? And
I think I understand what you're saying. I think I understand what you're saying. But
when you have tariffs,
Go ahead.
When you have tariffs, things are going to be more expensive. So, okay, the Chinese car, let's say now with the tariff, it's $100,000. Whatever. I don't know. But let's just go for that. And the American car is $80,000. Okay? So, even though you would, without the tariff, you could buy a cheaper Chinese car, you'd be fucking the American industry. and then that would, go away or, not get off the ground as much or whatever. And then, inevitably, and I do seriously believe this, when it goes away, you don't have it anymore. You get what I'm saying? So
I think I understand what you're saying, but I would say this:
$80,000 now, instead of $12,000, and always have an electric car, than to pay $12,000 now for this electric car, and then later you don't have any fucking thing. You get what I'm saying?
I would say this though. I would say this. I don't think that we will deglobalize per se. I think that there is protectionism across the world, particularly in the United States.
You have
it's not just Donald Trump. But I would say what I predict though is that we will still continue, for example, a lot of global trade, because it still is. Let's say all the tariffs are done. Let's say like there was the full tariffs done on every single import. Let's say 20% tariffs done on every single import entering the United States that Trump wanted to do. In many cases, like say for example T-shirts, it still is cheaper for a company to produce a T-shirt in Bangladesh or wherever in the world, bring it to the United States, sell it for an increased cost, sure, but then they still make profit, and it was still cheaper than doing it in America. So in the case of like real, in the case of really cheap goods, I think cheap goods will still be made around the world. But America, in my view, can focus a bit more on the more intense industries, the more what's the good word for it? One of our biggest things that we construct in America is airplanes. Maybe we could get involved in the ship construction. We build ships, but we're much smaller in terms of ship construction than say China, right? The heavy industries.
With our oceans, we are horrible at shipbuilding. We should be literally number one in shipbuilding.
It's kind of. I was very surprised by that, because there's a lot smaller countries that are much more into shipbuilding than the United States.
Do you know why, right?
Why?
You know why? So part of it's the Jones Act. Are you familiar with the Jones Act?
I'm not personally familiar with that.
So what the Jones Act is have you ever gone on a cruise ship?
No, I personally haven't.
So you can't go from Florida to New York, right? You can't do it. What you have to do is you have to go from Florida to the Bahamas to New York. And the reason for that is unless a ship is built in America, crewed by Americans, and has an American flag and registered in America, right? It cannot sail between two American ports. It has to make a call in a foreign port first and then go to another port. And that's the same case for ships that are brand new and built.
Okay.
Then there's numerous things. I mean, steel. There's numerous things like that.
So it kind of sounds like to me. It kind of sounds like to me that they almost, I guess, in order to it's almost protectionist in nature. They want you want American crew, you want American workers, this, that, or the other. Otherwise, we're going to put a restriction on it, and then they made it tougher. They make the process tougher.
This is kind of proving my point, right?
Yeah.
We put a bunch of protectionism on the shipbuilding, right? Yeah. And now it's it was kind of the bad protectionism in my opinion. It didn't work great. But now we're in a situation where the only thing we can really do is buy other ships. The majority of the ships being built in American shipyards are for the military, right? Yeah. Because you have to have that. Whereas in Korea, they're fucking dumping cargo ships and bulk carriers out like nobody's business. Even in Germany, where there's high energy costs and high rates of labor. And so my point is once that we already lost that industry for the most part, right? It's hanging on, basically through government subsidy. Yeah. So that's kind of my point is if let's say that for whatever reason, every other country says, fuck you, we're not selling ships to you anymore, America, right? Or any American companies, then we're basically fucked. So imagine if that happens for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
like,
this is what I say. I think there's a balanced position with what we can have in a global economy. So, for example, with T-shirts, sure, build the T-shirt or construct a T-shirt in Bangladesh. But I think America needs a strong shipbuilding industry. I think we need a strong aircraft building industry, which my understanding is that we do have. I think we need a strong chip conducting, chips. With the CHIPS Act is kind of what they're trying to do with that, is to build more chips in America again. I support that. Auto industry and so on and so forth. I think the thing is, American manufacturing should be coming back to this country, and it should be sort of the higher quality manufacturing, the cheapest goods. Say there's plastic manufacturing and so on. I don't mind that being overseas. So I don't. And I do think as well that having an economy that is somewhat connected, while not perfect, is sort of a deterrence to war as well. I wouldn't want us to be completely like every country building for themselves, exclusively for themselves, because I think that's a little too isolationist. But, but I do value American manufacturing being built here. And,
You realize that without America acting as a global police force, that globalization just wouldn't happen, right? You do know that.
I mean, I think China would still try to construct their manufacturing
China's
base
Navy,
through the 90s.
So China's Navy, now China would be the biggest one to step up, I will say. India would step up as well. Europe collectively would have to step up. And what you would see is, instead of globalization, it's not that you wouldn't see any trade at all.
Real quick, I just do want to respond to someone in chat. I just see here the Z fellow who previously I saw said "Hail Trump," says he's waking up. Nathan, you're on point there. I'm not waking up to anything. This is my position for years. You can see things of me way back in the day supporting protectionism and so on and so forth. Sometimes a little too much, but yes, you were saying.
Well,
I'm a populist. This is a consistent position I've held.
I already knew from talking to you were a populist. And the populist left and the populist right are going to sound a lot alike because they agree on a lot of things. I mean, I am a very right-wing person. We've pretty much agreed on a lot of things here.
Of course.
Because we've been talking about, populist issues. And at the end of the day, whether, it's through a right-wing thing or a left-wing thing, I think both of us want the best for the American people. And I approach him with that. But yeah, I just wanted to say, what you're going to see is trade blocks if that happens.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's not going to be, and that's why I kind of focus on geopolitics as well.
Sort of like the EU and ASEAN and so on and so forth.
Well, yeah, you would have, things stepping up. But here's the thing: when America's Navy rolls in, right? They're usually there to help, right? Maybe maybe some.
They kind of make sure the trade routes are maintained.
But yeah, realistically, right? There's problems, but realistically, America overall, the good guys. You can make that argument.
I'm gonna put someone in the queue real quick. I'm going to put you on hold. Stay on the line. I'll make you the last debate. All right? Anyway, let's try to finish up for the person there.
I get you.
Yeah.
No, I get you. And I'm sorry. We kept going on.
No problem. It's an interesting conversation.
When China rolls up to the Philippines, your country, it's not going to be as in, the spirit of friendship as it is with America. So, what I'm saying is right now, what countries like the Philippines and things like that should do is start focusing on making blocks of themselves to, oppose Chinese influence and things like that. Because regardless, by 2100, America might not exist, and it's definitely not going to be a global policeman anymore. So
it's hard to predict, but I'll just finish off with this. If we are to predict about what the sort of geopolitical situation is going to be by 2100, I personally do believe America is still going to be around. A lot of people say America's a dying empire. I actually disagree. We have something that many countries don't have. Specifically, you look at China, right? That's apparently the rising empire, this, that, or the other. They have a really big looming crisis on their hands with the population crisis that they found themselves in.
Absolutely.
And they did the one-child policy, and now they're in a situation that many developed countries find themselves in, where they have that sort of age chart right? Where they show like the age distribution, and it becomes this sort of mushroom
demographic
shape.
pyramid.
Yeah, and that means they're getting to a point where there's going to be a little bit. There's like too much old people and not enough young workers supporting the social safety net. So that's going to cause them trouble to the point I don't think they're going to become a sort of global superpower like the hegemon like America has been for the last few decades.
No.
And other countries like, hold on 1 second. I'm going to put you in the queue. You got to wait for a little bit. I'm going to finish this call, all right?
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think China's going to become the next global hegemon. I don't think Russia's kind of just screwing themselves continuously. Russia already has been struggling for a long time, and now they're doing a war that's like making them broke. You know, it's funny. They're like, we have very low unemployment, the Russians. And the scary thing is their unemployment is low because they're sending people out to die, and now they're getting job shortages.
Yeah, the reason the unemployment is low is because,
So,
real
yeah.
quick, I know you're trying to go, and I'm not going to make another point. I just wanted to say, if you want to hone your knowledge a little bit more, like I said, please look into geopolitics. It would behoove you and your discussions and interests. And like I said, I don't agree with everything that guy says, but Peter Zion definitely a good place to get your feet into. But good conversation, Nate.
Good conversation, brother. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm going to subscribe, man. I'll probably call in again. Have a good one.
Thank you. All right. See you then. 208 area code. What's on your mind?
Hello. You're here to debate, right?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. So I just want to make it clear. I'm 13-year-old Trump supporter, and I thought you'd want to debate with me. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's fine with me. What's on your mind?
All right. So what I want to talk to you about was, do you think abortion should be legal?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you one more question. Do you think murder should be legal?
I don't view abortion as murder. Look, I understand that the pro-life argument, you guys see like the fetus as a person. I understand the complexities. I understand why emotions run high, but I just think that, and there's a bit of a grown-up topic. I don't mean to put this on you, but people that are forcibly impregnated, raped, they should not be forced to give birth to the kid. And people that are victims of incest and so on and so forth. I understand that some states can have restrictions on the third trimester. It's completely reasonable. But Roe v. Wade, the reason why it was a compromise was because it allowed for, yes, states to make restrictions on specifically third trimester abortions, but also protected women that were victims of rape. I think that that's perfectly reasonable. I understand I don't do the personhood debates because usually no one's going to agree. People aren't usually moved on what they kind of prescribe personhood to. But you get what I mean?
Yeah. I completely understand you. So, yeah, I get that. But you quickly tried to get me to go away from the murder topic. So,
yeah,
I would say murder would be the act of taking or terminating, killing a life without the case of self-defense or anything like that, and we can agree that would be illegal, right? Like that should be punishable.
Murder of a living person, sure.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, at what age do you think something is living, like inside the womb?
I don't really care about it, to be honest. I think that I'm just being honest with you. I don't really think much. I've heard a million personhood debates. In my own personal life, let's say I was a woman and I was pregnant, I don't think I would want to do an abortion. But if I was raped, I think I would. And ultimately, I just kind of have the perspective that people shouldn't be forced to the responsibility of parenthood by a rapist. That's my main thing. And again, I understand the complexities. And people generally don't move on the personhood debate. But that's why I support something like Roe v. Wade with a restriction on third trimester abortions.
Yeah, so if that does happen to someone, which I completely understand, I mean, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
But, so that happens to you. I think that could be a very, very rare case. I think that should be the only time where abortion should ever be legal. but
Okay.
like, let's just say, if if a woman irresponsibly gets herself pregnant and she says, "Look, I'm gonna have an abortion. Okay, I do not want to have this baby."
Yeah.
If she voluntarily has sex with the dude, do you think the dude should have a say? Like, no, you're not getting an abortion.
Generally, I think it's more on the woman because it's the woman's body that has to go through the pregnancy. So I put if there's a percentage of decision making, I would put it 70% on the woman and ultimately 70% of any group if it's like a democracy. Just hypothetically here, 70% gets to make the decision because it is her body. But I would say this: people that have sex and then they accidentally have a child, right, or they accidentally get pregnant. Those people, since we talk, we mentioned that people that might be raped and then they get an abortion might be statistically rare. It is statistically rare for somebody that just wants a sort of elective abortion to get that abortion later. They usually do it very quickly, as soon as they can, usually in the first trimester. Personally, they separate by trimesters. I don't really have much moral query with the first trimester. I don't the second trimester I don't really care about much either, but there's more debate. Third trimester I'm okay with restrictions on elective abortions, but again, like 90-something% happen in the first trimester, and the very rare ones that happen in the third trimester that aren't rape or incest tend to be for medical reasons. I mean, those are the people that literally paint the room, buy the crib, they want to have a kid. But if a person's in the third trimester, they didn't get raped, they aren't a victim of incest, but they have to get an abortion, most likely it's to save their life. And if it's to save their life, that's a perfectly valid reason.
Yeah, okay. I do have one other thing that I'd like to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Do you agree that college is a scam?
I don't agree that college is a scam. I've heard Charlie Kirk say something similar, but college is not even the same thing as K through 12 education. K through 12 education is just trying to get us to that high school degree, but college gives us a specialized education, gets you a degree that's specific for a field. You need to go through college to get certain jobs. Say like you want to be into nursing, maybe you want to be an engineer, maybe you want to be into journalism in your local news station. You need to get a degree to get all those jobs. So I will say I think there's reforms that can be done in college. So specifically this, I have a friend who completed 2 majors, or completed all the classes for her 2 majors, and then she still didn't fulfill her electives, so she just had to take a few more classes. To me, that seems like a method of just trying to extract as much money as possible. So I think there needs to be reforms on the college level, but is the process of getting a degree to get a job a scam? No, I don't think that's the case.
Okay, so yeah, I understand you, but I would say most all the time, college would be a scam because let's just say that you were really, like, ever since you were a kid, you wanted to become a teacher, and you went to college for 4 years, 2 years, 6 years, however long you want to go, and you got yourself into like hundreds of $1,000s into debt, and you get a job as a teacher, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so great, I'm finally a teacher. You achieve that goal, like if that's really what you want to be, I think you should go ahead and do it. However, if you look at it money-wise, it's going to take you 30, 40, 50 years just to make back that debt that you created in college. So you're pretty much just going for getting an education for 4 years just so that you can pay that debt back within like 30, 40 years.
I will agree with you that college is too expensive and that college debt is horrible for a person. And I think that the solution has to be, we can't just let a lot of these, institutions are often impacted by sort of market priorities, trying to make as much money as possible, right? So that's why we have to adopt Senator Bernie Sanders' College for All plan, which for a simple $40-60 billion investment, which is significantly smaller than the usual military budget increases in a year, usually like $100 billion or something. $40 or $60 billion, we can expand education access to public colleges and universities and trade schools as well. So not just for people trying to get into the sort of more academic side of things, but the people trying to become plumbers, the people trying to become mechanics, and so on and so forth. We need to do that. It was not really the most difficult task, and as a result, people would be able to get specialized educations without being burdened by potentially thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, I will just say quickly in regards to that, I think there are legitimately bad actors in the college business in a way. There are people there that are legitimately, they just want to make money as much as possible, and they don't care if they're going to put kids into debt. A lot of these student loan companies are taking these kids fresh out of high school, 18 years old. They don't know nothing about money, giving them massive loans with massive interest, so they find themselves at the end in massive debt. So like those people particularly are criminals, and you know, something like the College for All program would absolutely destroy the sort of scammer side of the college industry. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
how do you feel about the 40% dropout rate?
I don't know. I never heard that number particularly. But what I would also hope, let's say 40% of those people do drop out, right? I would also hope that we have a society where there are jobs that for people that don't have a college degree. That's why, you know, again, with the Bernie plan, part of it is supporting trade schools. You know, that's not like the most like academic, you gotta do a bunch of paperwork type stuff. It's learning how to work with your hands, becoming a plumber, becoming a mechanic. These generally pretty high paying jobs. That path for education should be available. And in general, let's say you just have a high school degree, you should have jobs available to you that give you what you need to survive. You work hard, you should be able to survive. That's why I also support doing something like a government jobs program, like we saw with the New Deal with Franklin Delano Roosevelt, where, for example, a bunch of young kids were being brought over to the natural parks in the civilian conservation corps, right? So you get what I'm saying with that?
Yeah. So, I'm going to be heading to bed pretty soon, but just one more thing. What would you say Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment was?
I think in terms of just Kamala Harris or the administration. What do you mean? Like Kamala Harris or the entire Biden administration?
Kamala Harris administration, just...
Yeah. I mean, the role that she played was limited. Like, sometimes she could, like, break ties, and I think her being the tie-breaking vote that made for infrastructure investments and manufacturing investments like the CHIPS Act, you know, putting a cap on insulin so people aren't going broke because they have diabetes. I think that's stuff for her to be proud of. You know what I mean? We, like, 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. I think that's good.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna...
Hey, brother, let me just say, I compliment you. You're a lot more respectful or respectable than a lot of these people that call in and don't give me time to speak. You ask your questions, I answered, you respond. It's a good conversation. That's how it's supposed to be done. All right.
Yeah,
have a good
I know.
day.
I've seen lots of videos just of people being rude and stuff. I'd always try to be nice when I'm debating. So
Yes,
have a great night, okay?
You too.
All right. Bye.
You see, that's a nice place to end off in, all right? Somehow, a kid is significantly more capable of productive conversation than like 90% of MAGA. You know why he's capable of that? Because he asked a question, a clear question, I gave him an answer, and then we went back and forth. That's how it's supposed to be done, folks. That's how it's supposed to be done. But I have people that are 50, 60 years old that legitimately can't help themselves but interrupt and disrespect and so on and so forth. It's simple as that. But folks, that's enough debating for now. If you like the debates, you should subscribe because we're going to have more debates. Subscribe, leave likes, go ahead and send a donation if you want. But we're going to switch priorities a little bit here, folks. We're going to switch priorities. We're still going to be streaming, but we got GTA, the story mode that I'm playing for the live streaming audience. I'm going to play that for you guys. Pulling it up. Jonathan Jones says, you said nothing. I gave direct answers to his questions. River Crab says, this young man is proof that the future holds good things still. Yes, absolutely. The future is wonderful. Listen, you hear a lot of more radical voices on this stream, but listen, you talk to regular people and you can have a lot more productive conversations. Red Scare 2.0. I've been seeing you in the chat. Shout out to you. Buddy, he literally talked about Bernie's plan. ZZZZZ says, GTA is a Republican game, bro. Yeah, okay, buddy. Don't be silly, bro. Don't be silly. They literally criticized Bush-era torture in the game with the Trevor with the Trevor moment, okay? You don't even know GTA, and you want to talk like you know politics. All right. Kakashi says, I'm not MAGA or liberal. I just chose Christ when it comes to decisions. I honestly don't like either politicians. Jordan says, why GTA and not DayZ? Never played DayZ. Hold on. Let me make sure you guys can see the GTA. One moment. Let me make sure y'all can hear GTA in the background, right? Hold on. Oh, wait, y'all already see it. Okay. Okay, good. Oh, you probably hear an echo. I pulled up the stream on my phone just so I see it clearly. ZZZZZ is saying, Nathan, you voted for Trump. Prove me otherwise. I can't literally show you my ballot. I turned it in multiple months ago. But you can feel whatever delusions you want. Pretend I'm on your side. It's just kind of a weird role play to do. Y'all excited for GTA 6? Absolutely.
Why the fuck not?
The Palestine. All the beliefs ghost influence the natural world. What do you mean by that? Competent foreign intelligence services, whether those belonging to China, those belonging to Iran, to Cuba, certainly including Russia, are interested in gaining access to Mar-a-Lago. Oh yeah, you can believe it. You can believe that. Franklin jump scare.
What do you want? Man, I'll come by for that drink you offer, that's all.
Jordan says, were you a TYT journal? Yes, I was. You can see my credits in some of the reports from TYT reports.
Man, I never robbed you.
Franklin supremacy. Franklin's the GOAT. But who's your favorite? I was asked this before. Who's your favorite GTA character? I think I just like following Michael around, but like he's kind of like, is he a bigger piece of shit than Trevor? I don't know. I'm not sure. Andrea says, my GTA game got corrupted. No! So I had to reset. So I'm at the point where Michael is talking to Davey. Ah, I see.
I got out alive.
How do you feel about Anna from the Young Turks becoming a Republican? Well, that's what a lot of progressives are saying. And I think that's the case. So, yeah. River says, Franklin, no doubt. I see. Jordan says, do you think Cenk and Anna are pivoting? Yeah. I think part of it is career. I think part of it is genuine. But part of it is, career. Cenk was saying a few months ago that Trump's a fascist. And now he's saying, you can't call Trump a fascist. Actually, the voter base is actually different than the typical establishment Republican. They booed Dick Cheney. But let me tell you this. If Dick Cheney came out and endorsed Donald Trump, I guarantee you they're not going to be booing Dick Cheney. Best believe it. Attrition says, I like when Kamala has to certify her own loss. Good for you. ZZZ says, maybe one day you'll pivot. Absolutely not. Listen, Cenk was a Republican back in the day, alright? Then he became a progressive. I don't know why, what moved him or whatever. I have never switched a position. I'll learn a little bit. Like, for example, I was a lot more protectionist when I was a kid, but then when I learned more about trade, I'm like, yeah, you can't be complete protectionist. You have to have a global economy. Yeah, even if you put tariffs on literally everything, other companies will still find it cheaper to produce certain cheap goods overseas. We're still going to have a global economy, right? I'm still generally a protectionist, but obviously my position just evolved. But none of my positions have ever shifted from like left to right or right to left. I've always just stayed consistent.
There's a little bar I like. It's not too far from here. Let's go.
All right, man. I'm following.
I think Cenk won't be able to pivot, but Anna will because no, wait, hold on. Jordan, Scott Mills, you're so correct. Michael Knowles, wait, hold on. Cam Research says, thank you. See you all later. Jola Talksbox is having a good place to have a discussion with MAGA people and progressive. Yeah, I've seen Jolo around, yeah. Jolo seems interesting. He seems good at content and all that stuff. But, yeah, no, literally, the thing is this, bro. Like, actually, I need to know this. I saw Michael Knowles make a video attacking Cenk for his whole reaching out to MAGA shit. And his audience was also attacking Cenk. Not once in that video, where he was calling out these so-called, like, fake MAGA grifters or whatever, did he call out Anna once. He didn't call out Anna once. You're telling me you're criticizing the guy, the one half of the faces of the Young Turks, Cenk and Anna. You're criticizing Cenk, but you're not criticizing the other half? Yeah, okay, buddy. I think Anna Kasparian best believe that Anna is going to go work at the Daily Wire.
Hey, Jim. I'm going for a drink.
Dad, shit! I'm in our boat going down the Western Highway. It's been stolen.
Oh my goodness.
What? The yacht's been stolen?
I was trying to sell it.
Aaron says you sound like CNN at this point. If CNN sounded like me, we'd be a very different country.
Hiding in the head.
You're insane. All right, I'm coming for my boat. All right.
For the boat. We're getting the
Change
boat.
Plans. My darling boy is in trouble.
Hey, I'll help you out.
If I sound like CNN, the world would be a different place. Oh, hello, random car I parked here last time I played.
Lesson number 1. Don't ever have kids.
Hey, man, look. If I had kids, I don't think no parenting issues would arise over who had boat privileges and who don't. Shit, motherfuckers would be lucky to sit in the bathtub.
Shit, things that desperate, huh?
Nah, but, you know, shit, I was making a point.
Mythologizing self-deprecation. I know it well.
Yeah, man, but shit, where the boat at?
Little shit's been hijacked. They're somewhere on the Western Highway.
Man, ain't you worried?
About my boat? Yeah, I am.
Hold on. Let me see what y'all saying. It's hard to do this streaming when you're playing a game and like the chat's moving at the same time and you're trying to read the chat. Aaron says maybe the truth would come out. I don't know exactly what truth you're talking about there. Yeah, I bet over and over she goes, ooh. I mean, she and Ben get along quite well. Would you work at Trump Tower for $500K? I don't think I would. They know Anna is playing the long game. Dave told her about that Russian money. Andrea says, Nathan, I think I said this before, but my favorite character is Trevor because I have the same I don't give a shit attitude. Interesting. Trevor is a very likable guy. Very charismatic for being a psycho.
Yeah, tell my accountant that.
Ivan says, I like Trevor because he's Canadian.
Hey, have you come repo it? No,
True.
Thank you.
Alright, homie.
I ain't your homie. I'm someone you want to impress.
Dude, I'm in the car.
I'm someone you want to impress.
Really? Man, I thought you was retired. Why the fuck do I want to impress some slipper-wearing motherfucker?
Because I can still teach you a thing or two. Maybe help you open the door to all the joys that boat-related parenting issues entail.
So I'm gonna help you get this boat back, right?
That you
Yeah,
are,
this is why they say don't text and drive. I keep looking at the chat. I keep hitting shit. All right? They say don't text and drive.
Sorry.
I understand now. Reading some shit is distracting. Like you could actually get offered that? What are you talking about? The Trump Mar-a-Lago? Yeah, I don't think I would get offered that. I think I'm a little too critical.
Oh, there.
Oh, there's the boat.
That's my boat.
Your boat's in a fucking hurry, man.
Yeah, well, we'll catch them.
I didn't expect those objects to be that heavy, to be honest. Come on. Yeah, you must be a leftist because your best friend is a video game. Hopefully Trump makes you get a job. Would you consider Trevor an anti-hero? I guess Trevor does play the role of an anti-hero, right? He does a lot of objectively bad stuff, but, you know, he's still the protagonist, or one of the protagonists, I guess. I'm insane, call me Stephen Ogg Trevor. True. The important life lessons of GTA. Jordan says, don't text and speed while weaving traffic. Yeah, that's true. That is stuff you definitely should not do.
Once I get us up close, you're the boarding party.
More like the falling in traffic party.
You'll be fine. Anything happens, I got a piece in the glove box. I'll cover you.
Okay, man, fine. Just plug your fine. So you thought of everything, right?
Well, said you wanted to
I'm
learn
locked
the
in,
old
folks. I
way.
gotta lock in on
This
this.
is the old way.
There you go. Damn. Oh, I should probably look at where I'm going.
Come on. Ah, whack.
Oh, who subscribed? Who subscribed? Hold on. Since I'm playing games, I can shout out who subscribes. The Buff Nerd subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Sorry, I'm not saying much. I'm locked into GTA right now.
My ship. Not the engine. Shit. Fucking engine. Hey, stop throwing assholes at me.
Goofy ass sound effect, bro.
Screwing with the wrong retiree. Don't you hurt my boy. I just don't try to kill me, man. Hey,
Oh, I gotta shoot.
Hey, ain't you coming to me?
Fuck.
Hey,
Hold on.
hey, over here. Shoot this motherfucker in the face already.
Hold on. Actually. Alright, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Where's my fucking thing? Alright, where's it? Damn! Alright, there you go. Got it. Headshot. So good at this game. I'm so good at gaming.
Now look for my son.
Dad? Wait, you're the guy from the dealership.
Yeah, and it's a long story, bro. Jimmy!
Oh my goodness.
Watch out for the boom! Fuck! Hold on!
Dad! Help! Help! Help!
Pull up on him so he can drop in the car! Nah, fuck is wrong with you?
Dad!
Don't tag me, you little shit! You better hope she's still seaworthy! Get off of him! Knock it up, you thieving prick! Shit! Shit! Ah, shit! Come on, come on, come on, come on! Hey!
Yo, Franklin, get on the boat, bruh.
Hey, closer, man, closer! Hey, get right up the back of that thing!
There you go. Got
Remind
it.
me not to come to you for parenting advice!
Not the boat, bro. Not the boat.
That everyone? Alright, time to get the boat back.
How many guys are you going to kill for that boat? Now that doesn't sound good.
Hey, that's the engine, man. We ain't taking shit in this thing. Don't break
Damn.
down, not yet. Ah,
Damn.
my fucking boat!
My fucking boat.
It's just
Hold on. Let me read the chat. Hypothetically, why do you stream games when viewer count drops so much? Well, I mean, I just feel I don't usually stream games, but I already did some debates. I already got the peak, so we're no longer at the peak. So I'm streaming games a little bit. That's what normal streamers tend to do. You know what I mean? But the people that want to watch will stick around, and the people that want debates, well, they'll leave, and maybe they'll come back next time. You know. It's been asked, hypothetical question regarding the Trump charges. If I brought a car but refused payments, would I get charged for stealing a car each time or I missed a payment? I think you would get charged. I think you might be in trouble. Z Corp Alpha says, oh, Mr. Politician Nitwick plays video games all day. Ever consider donating your time to a homeless shelter? Not even reading comments. Brother, motherfucker, go play a game sometimes, man. Go live a life. It's fucking 12 a.m., bro. No, I'm not going to go to a homeless shelter at fucking 12 a.m. So a grown man will sit and tell people Trump is bad and then play games. Oh, my goodness. I didn't realize MAGA was anti-video games. Jeez, man. Put that on the platform. So you're gonna ban video games. It's a good strategy. Guarantee you, everybody's gonna fuck with you.
my boat. It's just a thing. My boat.
But it says I steal cars. I steal cars in GTA all the time and don't have to pay anything. True.
I fucked up, okay? I'm not going to lie. That was a really bad judgment call. But shit, Dad, I nearly died, and all you give a shit about is this fucking boat.
No, not that. It's
All we do is scream at each other. No wonder I can't get a job. It's all your fucking fault. Or it's not, but it's partly your fault. I mean, I just want to impress you.
by selling my boat to some gangbangers.
I know it sounds dumb when you put it like that, but all you do is daydream or get angry.
Look, I love you, Jimmy, but you're an asshole. And And right now, with my boat disappearing
Slow
over the
ass
horizon,
car.
that's all I can see. Franklin, would you do me a favor and give this kid a ride home after they fix this thing? I want to headbutt the road in peace.
Oh, great! Leave me with the home invader.
I'll get it done, dog. No problem.
Dad!
Enough! All right? Enough!
Oh,
Franklin,
hold up.
do
I
me a
missed the
favor,
turn.
call me a taxi, will you?
No problem. This the exit, bro. Hey, I need a cab as soon as you can send
I
one.
see some bad drivers.
Los Santos
for you.
Customs by the airport. All right, thanks.
Thanks, man.
Hey, so you do much yachting?
Not anymore. No, I don't.
Before, I mean, man.
No, not really. This little shit stays in his room all day, and I don't have many other people to go with.
Oh,
you know?
fuck.
I like looking at him.
I keep missing the turns, bro.
I come down to the marina, sit on the dock, pour myself a drink, and look at him. Jacqueline. Did it clear my head?
It's
you know, let me
12?
dream.
Yeah, it's 12:19 for me, too.
Well, maybe you need to do some other shit to fill your time. Dream other dreams.
You need
man.
military discipline?
Sure.
I think you need to get fucking pussy, dog. I don't know what to tell you. Serve your country. What? Go die for Greenland? You can line up. Go die for the Panama Canal. Go die for Greenland.
It's the place up here. I know
21st century imperialism. Donald Trump's promising.
All right, take what's in my pocket. A couple $1,000. That'll cover it, right?
Damn, $1,000. Sheesh. Fucking Michael's generous. What the fuck?
Get out and walk around.
It's okay, just climb over.
Look, man, I'm gonna get the ride fixed, man, and drop it back off at your house along with this dude. It's all good, though, man. You go and get your head right.
Taxis.
All right, listen, thanks
So as
for
an
the
opinionated person, do you take a stance at legal things without... You take a stance on legal things without understanding the law? What the fuck are you talking about? Z Corp Alpha says you got drafted. That'd be very interesting. So like you're fantasizing about a streamer getting drafted? Mal bro thinks we're gonna invade Greenland. Okay, I see why we're fighting now. I mean, Donald Trump has not ruled out military force. He was asked specifically, do you rule out military force? Do you rule out economic coercion? And he said no. If you can't rule out imperialism, then you're potentially gonna do imperialism.
Still need to get you out for one of the races, Franklin. See if you drive as fast as you talk.
All right, good as new.
Oh shit, I can update the car. I don't have much money though.
Take your time, dog. We want to do this right. My mom always says she wants some more, like, aggressive lines on this thing.
Yeah, nah. Can't do shit. Too broke. Would you serve? Would you do your duty for God and country? Well, I don't think invading... I don't think imperialism is doing anything for
I'm
God.
gonna take you home now.
We're not in the fucking serfdom period of time. We're not in feudalism where you think that, oh my gosh, my wonderful lord is a gift to me from God. I have to fight a war for him.
Sure.
You have fucking peasant brain, dog. It's pathetic.
Jimmy. Or just like Jizzle.
Nah, man, I'll just stick with Jimmy, home.
So, what's the deal, man?
Huh?
You and my old man? I see you at the dealership.
Alright, hold on.
Steals my whip.
Are you having a conversation with yourself, this Aaron Ellison guy? You made judgment on Trump's felonies, and you can't explain it. Not can Merchan. What is you saying, bro? What is you saying? You have I didn't bring up Trump's felonies, I think, at all in this fucking call or in this fucking stream. You just talking to yourself. It's a negotiation tactic. The American people wouldn't agree to it. The Greenland has already stated they want to be independent from the Danes and are willing to join the team, and are meeting with the team. Believe me, the people in Greenland don't want to be part of the United States. Okay, if they want to, then sure, but they don't want to. That each missed payment for a car. Okay, well I wasn't paying it. I'm playing a game, bro. I wasn't paying attention to their fucking hypothetical that they were describing.
What'd he do?
Look, man, if he ain't
I'm saying that if they stole a car, I'm sure they would get charged for it. I think that's illegal.
I ain't gonna tell you, but I lost my fucking job, and I thought maybe he could help me find a new one.
Dude, my dad is retired. Like, fully. Like, his only marketable skills are watching TV and daytime drinking.
Man, look, I don't know, homie.
Z Corp Alpha's extensive use of emojis lets you know that they're a fucking boomer, dog. Dominic wish, I wish we were kind of part of nation. I wish we were the kind of nation Greenland would want to be a part of. Yeah, I don't think they'd be interested right now. Maybe in the future. What are your thoughts on the photo of Trump standing up and waving at a crowd after being shot? I don't really care. There's harder photos out there. The Luigi Mangione photo goes a little bit harder. They made that motherfucker look like the Joker.
Cool by me.
Oh fuck, I went the wrong way. Nah, whatever, let's go this way.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Look, I'm sorry my dad lost you your job. It's hard out there. Huh, I mean, I'm employmentally challenged at the moment.
Oh, you got fired, dude. Damn, that's rough.
Not fired as such.
Oh fuck, I went the wrong way. Whatever.
I've been there, homie. You've been putting them resumes out there.
Fuck.
Damn.
But no one's hiring, huh?
No, I didn't get a job. I've never had a job. It feels like hard work. Life, the days just kind of disappear. Hey, you play Righteous Slaughter?
Nah, not since the first couple.
Okay.
Dictating a book? What? What are y'all talking about? What?
Yo, so like, since we're both unemployed, like, we could run together, you know?
Yeah, I think about it, homie.
Or we could just like shop it, you know? Play darts or get our drink on. Strip clubs. Come on, dude, I get real crazy.
Yeah, I got your number, shit. I need it, man. But hey, you know what? Man, go easy on your pops, dog. All right?
All right, church.
Exactly, man.
My brother from another mother. I mean, I hope so, because my mom was kind of a skank back in the day. See ya.
Yeah, whatever, homie. Peace.
Enough said, you don't care. You can't even say it was inspirational move. No, it really wasn't. Nathan. Oh, oops. Scrolled away from the chat. Hold on.
Sorry about that, sweetie.
Wait, hold on. Let me check something real quick. Alright, back to the game. Back at it. Oh, let me see what. Let's look at the map. What's there to do? Stranger than freaks? Nah. I don't feel like doing that. Where's the next mission for Franklin? You have to be Michael again? I don't think I'm gonna go on too long because I have to pee. Oh, I switched character. Alright, let's see what Michael's up to. I don't see a mission there for Franklin.
Just fine right here, thanks.
Okay, seems like we're supposed to go straight to Michael. Michael's bullet has been impounded but can be recovered. His bullet? What is his bullet? What are they talking about? Thought his car was at his house. Yeah, that's his house. Vehicle impound. Wait a minute. What vehicle was impound? Hold on.
this gas town. Sorry, but I need this. Just like her breasts.
Probably should have chosen a faster car.
Wednesday nights at 9.
Bay AG, grown man playing computer games while people watch him. I don't think, maybe it's your first time seeing someone play video games on the internet, but I'd be able to do it. Who is, and I don't agree with a lot of shit Trump does, but Greenland is a great idea, and it's probably going to become part of U.S. territory, and hopefully it will become beneficial to both parties. Listen, I'll only accept that if the people in Greenland want it, but other than that, if they say no, then it's just naked imperialism. And if the U.S. is doing naked imperialism, it justifies literally, or it's great cover for China or Russia to do whatever imperialism they want. So, not a great idea. Z is saying GTA is a pre-woke game or Republican game or whatever. That's why they criticize torture. There was literally a whole scene where Trevor was going off about essentially the Bush torture program. You know, the things Republicans support. I literally said the polls don't. I haven't seen the polls that indicate that. You said. I just said the polls show they want to do it. Canada don't. I haven't seen the polls that indicate Greenland wants to do it. I mean, if there's polls that are doing it, then sure. I don't really care if it's what the people in Greenland want, and I would, if they were to become part of the United States, I would want them to have full statehood instead of this sort of territory situation that we force places like Puerto Rico to have, even though they have a massive population compared to multiple U.S. states. Damn, what's happening with this fucking thing? Why is it smoking like that? Oh, that truck is mad at me, it seems. Territory could be better deal. There's 50,000 people. We could make them all rich. I don't exactly know how you would make them all rich without them being a state, but I don't think it's right to be able to just take a land for yourself and not give them the benefit of statehood, not give them any representation in Congress and all that. We've seen what happened with Puerto Rico, and they're not even treated, they don't even get the disaster relief like a lot of American states do, where it's a lot quicker. People complain about what the North Carolina situation or whatever, but Puerto Rico had it way worse. Alright, what are they talking about? I had a vehicle impounded. I'm not aware Michael had another vehicle besides the car I already brought back. Oh, this... I went all the way for this fucking car that you'll just see randomly on the streets. Is this Michael's car now? Can I take this to like a fucking mechanic? Bruh, I didn't even know this was... I did not know this was what I was looking for. Alright, when's the next mission, bro? Wait. Hold up. I don't see another mission for Michael. I didn't see another mission. I guess I gotta do this strangers and freaks thing. What could 50,000 of you do for the world, hypothetically speaking? What are you talking about? Lonnie says, yo, Nathan, I'm not gonna be able to watch all your stream because you stream whenever, but I'll watch your streams when I can. Hey, that's appreciated. Look, I mean, I understand you can't watch every single one, but the fact that you were a returning viewer is very much appreciated.
This is total bullshit.
You not read? Oh, this is a Franklin mission. I see. I went all this way just to get a Franklin mission. SMH. Hold up, bro. I had to pee. Where do I finish off? Oh, I'm being attacked. Hold on. Do I do one more mission or do I go to pee right now? I feel like I didn't do much in GTA, but I do have to pee. I did the boat mission. So I guess that's that. Sometimes in GTA, it's just nice to drive. It's nice to drive fast, you know? Okay, I was hoping to squeeze through, but that fucking truck decided that they had the same fucking idea. I'm gonna get revenge on them. That's what they get, bitch. 50,000 live streams. What? Aaron Elson asks, who's the D candidate for 2028? I think Tim Walz, Gretchen Whitmer. I'm open to JB Pritzker as well. Open to Andy Bashir. The Midwest has just been cooking. And I like them more than a lot of the coastal options like Kathy Hochul or Gavin Newsom. I'm not a fan of either of those guys. Not a fan of Pete Buttigieg. But yeah, Tim Walz or Andy Bashir or Gretchen Whitmer, they're my top. I'm open to JB Pritzker because he's done some good work.
Shit. Get out the fucking way. Oh, no, fuck.
The fuck is this? Donate to the poor people in California or just play video games. Yeah, you're in a YouTube chat. Why aren't you on the ground fighting the fires, bro? Come on. I don't understand these silly arguments. But either way, I feel like I did what I needed to do. Did one mission. A bit of a short gaming moment. But, I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Hold up. How do you save again? Fuck. I keep forgetting how to save in GTA. Hold on. Wait, oh, we're here. Hold on. Saving and start up. Where's the save button? Oh, yeah, wait, hold on. It's on the phone. Save, 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 save. Well, I'll figure that out. I'm like a little bit of a boomer right now. Haven't done the story mode in a bit, but for now, I'm gonna exit the stream because I gotta pee. Ugh, excuse me. Hold up.